Mr. Buddha in Tampa, Mrs. Ferguson in Kimball, Mr. Cutler and Mrs. Barron in Farmington Hills. We want to wish you and all teachers around the world a very happy Teacher Appreciation Week. First up, discussions about the Middle East peace process make their way to Washington, D.C. Recently, talks have centered around what's called the two-state solution, the idea of Israeli and Palestinian states existing side by side. Israel's president, Shimon Peres, has supported the plan in the past, but he's not in charge of his country's government. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is. As Suzanne Malveaux reports, President Obama is meeting with both Israeli leaders to discuss the issue.
For President Barack Obama and Israeli President Shimon Peres, it's a first step.
Let me make it clear. We trust the leadership of President Obama.
The two leaders' top priority, peace in the Middle East, starting with the Israelis and Palestinians.
I am a strong supporter of a two-state solution.
I have a simple question. Why wait? Israel is prepared today to bring peace closer. Today!
But even the Israeli leadership is split over whether that's even possible. Israel's newly elected Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has not endorsed the two-state solution. Mr. Obama would like that to change.
My hope would be that over the next several months that you start seeing gestures of good faith on all sides.
Already some Arab states are encouraged by Mr. Obama's early outreach to the Muslim Arab world.
That has gone down extremely well and really begins, I believe, a new page of mutual respect and mutual understanding between cultures.
But Iran continues to threaten the region with its nuclear ambitions. The U.S. and Israel believe the regime is intent on developing nuclear weapons.
Iran is not threatened by anybody.
But President Obama believes opening a dialogue with Iran's regime could change its behavior.
Tough, direct diplomacy has to be pursued without taking a whole host of other options off the table.
Former Republican House Speaker Newt Gingrich slammed the president's approach, telling the Jerusalem Post it was a fantasy, part of a policy very dangerous for Israel. But Peres told CNN's Wolf Blitzer he didn't have a problem with Mr. Obama reaching out to talk to Iran's leader.
Look, if they'll be successful, God bless them. Who wants a war? We're not crazy.
Shimon Peres is a highly respected elder statesman, but his post is largely ceremonial. It's the newly elected Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu who has much of the power. He'll also be meeting with President Obama in the weeks to come. Suzanne Malveaux, CNN, the White House.
Here's the deal. Today's money word is capital. In our financial glossary at cnnstudentnews.com, capital is defined as a company's available resources, including money. Put that in your word bank.
Federal Reserve Chairman Ben Bernanke says that the fate of the U.S. economy could depend on the country's financial system. Officials are giving some of the country's largest banks this sort of stress test to see if they've got enough capital to stay in business if the economy gets worse. Mary Snow breaks down what might happen if banks do or don't make the grade.
The Treasury came up with the idea of stress tests for the big banks to see if they could weather an even deeper recession. Wall Street is not expecting the 19 banks being tested to pass with flying colors. After weeks of number crunching, tense negotiations, and a few leaks, the expectation is some banks will need to raise more money.
We're going to find out there's some banks that in the next 6 months will go to the private sector and try to raise capital. If they can't, we're going to find out what banks are going to be the next recipients of TARP funds. And I think that, that's the mixed bag of news.
Still, that mixed bag ends months of uncertainty about the financial health of the banks that itself has brought angst.
I think this will mark the beginning of the end of this very severe banking crisis. I don't think the crisis comes to an end, however, until these banks actually do raise the capital that they need and then ultimately begin lending more freely again.
The White House says it doesn't expect to provide more public funds.
The administration doesn't believe that we need to go to Congress right now, looking for more money.
But economist Nouriel Roubini, who is sometimes called Dr. Doom and called the downturn before others, says the stress tests weren't stressful enough, that the unemployment levels used in them were too optimistic.
The risk is that we keep alive zombie banks like Japan, and that might lead to a more protracted credit crunch and weakness of the economy.
All right, from the health of the country's economy to health in general, federal officials are recommending that schools not close when they have confirmed cases of the H1N1 or swine flu. Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius says the virus is no more dangerous than your just regular seasonal flu. And while sick students should stay home, schools should stay open. Meantime, a lot of people are looking for information about this outbreak, but they need to make sure they're looking in the right places. Because as Christy Anderson of affiliate KETV in Omaha, Nebraska reports, some scammers are trying to take advantage of the situation.
According to McAfee online security company, spammers started pumping out emails right after the first news reports of the flu. Many of those emails link you directly to online pharmacies. And according to F-Secure, another online security company, more than 250 websites with the term swine flu have been registered, and it predicts scam artists are preparing to use the sites in a variety of scams. And we found a number of websites already selling swine flu protection kits, anywhere from $19.95 all the way up to almost $2,000.
None of the information that you would be able to purchase on this website is going to be of any more use to you than information that's available free of charge through government websites.
Nebraska Better Business Bureau President Jim Haggerty says to avoid the H1N1 swine flu scams, don't open emails from unknown sources and don't click on any of the links or attachments. Don't fall for offers of a swine flu vaccine. There is no such thing. And make sure your antivirus software is up to date, so that malware and data mining software can't infect your computer.
Just another malicious attempt to use the vulnerability of a situation that's occurring in our country to take advantage of people.
Now, your voices. In honor of teachers, here's what you were saying this Teacher Appreciation Week. Felipe calls Mr. Painter an awesome civics teacher, saying his class was a pleasure. Quincy says nobody knows how to teach like Mr. White does. And Dave thanked Miss Jablonski for being a wonderful teacher and for making Dave a good writer. Allison, Adam, Bull Rider, Samantha, Tyler, Trent, and Rath are all big fans of Mr. Easto. Kayla, Sean, and Tyler think Coach McCullers keeps class interesting every day. And Nathan and Preston thank Mrs. Blackstock, who sent us an iReport earlier this year about a deer in their school. Well, you can send us an iReport at cnnstudentnews.com, kicking your own shout out to your own teachers. Well, finally today, you know how younger siblings sometimes want to copy everything their older brothers and sisters do? That is the case for a family in Colorado, even if the siblings are only minutes apart. Tim Ciesco of affiliate KKCO scouts out the details.
Meet Christian, Aaron, and Nelson Rock, 15-year-old fraternal triplets who say they've experienced just about all aspects of their lives together.
I'm used to having them around.
In keeping with that tradition, the three brothers who have been Boy Scouts since they were 11 all became Eagle Scouts, the highest honor in scouting, at the same time.
It's a great honor because not a lot of people can get this award, like I said before, and it's just something that will really help you in the future when you apply for jobs and stuff like that.
Pretty nice getting it with my brothers because they're cool.
Scoutmaster Clint Erickson says it's truly a night to celebrate because getting to this point for any scout, let alone three of them, is no easy task. To become Eagle Scouts, the Rocks each had to earn 21 merit badges and plan and complete a large-scale community service project, which took the form of making the Grand Junction Trap Club handicap accessible, among others.
We have pretty rare opportunity.
But just how rare? According to Childbirth Solutions Incorporated, triplets occur once every 8,100 births, and according to the Boy Scouts of America, only 2 out of every 100 Boy Scouts become Eagle Scouts. So by our math, the odds of a triplet becoming an Eagle Scout is 1 in 4 million. And overcoming odds like that makes the Rocks feel pretty good.
I'm feeling lucky right now, too. I'm going to try the lottery or something when I get older.
But they say the only reason they were able to overcome those odds was because they had each other.
I'm just happy that we had an Eagle project that was just one giant one that we could all do together, and that these two were my brothers to do it.
We're really proud of them. They've worked really hard, and I'm excited to be part of it.
The triplets have 2 older brothers who achieved the same rank. 5 Eagle Scouts. This family rocks, because that's their last name, and just forget it. For CNN Student News, I'm Carl Azuz.